Action.
There's a maniac who seeks to end us all. I'm putting together the greatest team ever.
Are you packed? Yes.
Thor Love and Thunder is a wild fever dream of a movie that proves Kiwi director Taika Waititi is one of the funniest people in Hollywood. It has Groot. It has Guns N' Roses. And it has
giant goats!
Oh, look at those! They are wonderful.
Yes, they are. They also scream quite a lot.
But I can't tell you about any of that because, you know, spoilers. Looking at what a huge star Chris Hemsworth is now, it's hard to believe he was once a skinny kid who starred in nearly 200 episodes of Home and Away. Makes you wonder what young Chris would have said if you told him way back then that one day he'd play the first character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to get 4 standalone films.
I'm not getting naked for anybody or anything, you got that? You're the boss.
Are you sure about that, young Chris Hemsworth?
And flick.
Oh.
You flick too hard, damn it!
Now look, you can't blame the guy for wanting to show off his rig. After all, the last time we saw Thor, well, let's just say the only thing he'd been battling is how to get to the bottom of a bucket of the Colonel's finest.
I know you think I'm down there wallowing in my own self-pity, waiting to be rescued and saved, but I'm fine, okay? We're fine, aren't we?
Oh, all good here, mate.
But underneath all the flab were even more emotional layers that have made the character a lot more complex than any of us first thought when he appeared in 2011's Thor. Back then, he might have been a god, but God knows he had some daddy issues.
You are a vain, greedy, cruel boy.
You are an old man and a fool!
You're unworthy!
That first movie was a pretty serious affair, filled with mythology and melodrama, which probably had a lot to do with its director, Oscar winner Kenneth Branagh. Branagh has always preferred his action sequences to be, how should I put this, Shakespearean.
To be or not to be.
But the original Thor movie was also a journey of discovery that helped the character grow into a proper hero fit for the Avengers.
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
This is beyond you, Metal Man.
And it also introduced Thor to the love of his life, Dr. Jane Foster, a scientist played by Natalie Portman. That relationship went to the next level in the sequel, Thor: The Dark World, when Thor took Jane home to meet his family. But if you thought long-distance relationships were hard on Earth, try needing a Bifrost to travel across the galaxy to see your better half. That shit is doomed to fail.
I'll find a way to save us all.
Fast forward a few Avenger outings, and you come to something really groundbreaking in Taika Waititi's Thor: Ragnarok.
Oh, that's true.
The director of Hunt for the Wilderpeople and Eagle vs. Shark reinvented Thor in that movie, cutting off his hair, which to be honest, I feel is a better look than the dodgy wigs from earlier films, and also destroying his beloved hammer. And Waititi really leaned into the comedy potential of the character, making one of the funniest films of the MCU.
Oh, that's naked. He's very naked. My brain now.
Ragnarok also introduced us to Valkyrie, played by Westworld star Tessa Thompson.
Here we go!
Who is the MCU's first queer superhero and might just have more swagger than anyone in the galaxy. Waititi's highly anticipated sequel Love and Thunder picks up the action after the events of Avengers Endgame, where Thor had teamed up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. We find this band of motley heroes are now essentially mercenaries for hire, willing to fight for any planet that needs their help. But when a new supervillain emerges in the shape of Gore the God Butcher, played brilliantly by Christian Bale, the God of Thunder falls back on his Ragnarok crew, which includes a rock creature called Korg, voiced by the inimitable Waititi himself.
Kids, get the popcorn out.
The sound of his Kiwi accent in the MCU will never get old.
The revolution has begun.
But there's one massive new addition to the crew. Yes, I'm talking about Natalie Portman's biceps. Her mysterious return as the mighty Thor sets up some awesome jokes and drama around hanging out with your ex, especially when your ex has moved on with someone new. In this case, Thor's hammer. But if there's one criticism with Love and Thunder, it's that it might be a little too funny.
Well, you're right.
There's always a joke to lighten the mood, which is what I love about Taika Waititi's films, but sometimes it takes the weight out of the drama and makes it feel as though there isn't much at stake.
Shall we help him? Then eventually, grape.
And the decision to have Russell Crowe's Zeus talk in an accent that panders to ethnic stereotypes is problematic at best.
Let's see who you are and take off your disguise.
But I think it's important to remember that this is a comic book movie, and there really is no such thing as it being too much fun. And boy oh boy, is this a fun film. Thor Love and Thunder gets 4 stars.